So, how's everybody today? You good? Good, 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 good. Okay, so living a dream. Let me tell you a little bit about Jimmy Morris because it's quite a little story. It's a big story. It's a little story, but it's a big story. So, as pitchers, as major league pitchers go, not necessarily remarkable, other than the fact he threw 98 miles an hour, which not a ton of major league pitchers throw 98 plus. Nolan Ryan, handful of others. He played in the majors. It was a big show, as they say. The end of one season and another full season. Some of his stats. Let me pull them up because I pulled up his stat list. His pitching stats. He appeared in 21 games with a 4.8 ERA. He was basically a middle reliever, so he didn't pitch full games. A total of 15 innings pitched, allowed 13 hits, 12 runs. Where to go? And 13 strikeouts. Yeah. What's remarkable, though, is that he entered the major leagues at the age of 35. He had been drafted out of high school and bounced around the minors. Never really made it past AA, I believe. Shoulder injuries, several surgeries, and then just walked away. Got married, kids, all of that. And then, as you saw in the clip, all that happened. And he made it. And he made it. And got paid very well for the 2 seasons that he was in the majors. So he got to live, he got a taste of his dream. That childhood dream. And so it makes me stop and pause and think, it's like, what are the things, how many dreams have I let go of? And how many dreams, and let's face it, we're all still here on the planet. Are there dreams still waiting for you? No matter where we are and in terms of our trip count around the planet, we're still here. There's still room to grow. There's still something to be done. There's still something for me to do, something for me to love and live, to give, to receive. All of that is still available to me. And as I watched this movie a couple weeks ago, and I watched it again Friday, I sat there, got a little tear in my eye, going, are there things that you want to do that you've given up on? Talking to me. There's a few. And I've reignited a few in my mind and in my heart. Got busy on a couple. Busier. So I'm asking you here in the space with me and all of you online, what is the dream in you that is waiting to see the light of day? What is that little or big or small or whatever? And we don't need to stop and compare my dream to your dream. It's not like that. For some people, a big dream would be having a roof over their head, right? For some people, that big dream is having clean water day in, day out. A lot of things that maybe some of us take for granted. But for us, that big dream is, not working quite so hard. or going and living somewhere else, or having more than one home, or traveling to this country or that country, or whatever it is, or having, that dream job where I get to do what I love rather than what I feel I have to do to get by. What are the steps I get to take towards that? See, because we teach and we believe and we understand here that it is done unto us as we believe. And if we can shift our beliefs and our thoughts and our ideas just enough to tip that scale where we really internalize a new way of being, a new way of expressing, a new way of experiencing, then the universe will conspire on our behalf to bring that new experience into being. Right? Ernest Holmes writes this in The Science of Mind. Spirit thinks or knows within itself, and as a result of this interaction, creation manifests. Creation is the play of life upon itself through divine self-imagination. You know what? I read that when I was pulling quotes together, and I don't remember ever reading that, consciously remember reading that particular passage again before. Divine self-imagination. Interesting turn of phrase. You see, because we hold that we are one with this infinite spirit, that we are it individualized, so that spirit imagining within itself is going on inside of us in our own unique way. There is something for us. I believe that we each come into this life with our own intentionality. I believe that we come into this life saying, this is the direction I'm headed. This is the beingness, the expression that I want to have. This is the end result. This is the dream I have for me. And so I begin moving in that direction. Even when I'm laying in the bassinet, having trouble moving, motivating myself. Going, wow, I want to do that. At that point, I just want to be able to feed myself without having to scream. But then the world keeps turning, and I keep going to sleep and waking up, and I keep getting bigger and smarter and stronger and all of that stuff. And I keep moving forward into life. And something keeps motivating me. What is that dream that keeps me moving? What is that dream that keeps me wanting to learn and grow and do and be and express more? That is spirit seeking its expression through me, through you as you. We're doing it all together, trying to make this dream together, build a better world, create a more, attuned way of being. Wow. We finally get to a place in our lives where we quit listening to all the naysayers. We set them aside and draw to ourselves the people that are cheering us on and saying, yes, you can do that. Instead of those people that surround us and say, you know what, that dream is like way too big. Say, says who? Because sometimes I know in my own life, when I'm having trouble believing in me, I surround myself with people who care enough about me, who will voluntarily say, you know what, when you're having trouble believing in you, Lee, you can borrow some of mine. Because I believe in you. And that's what Reverend Jill does for all of us. That's what I do for all of you. I want to be that person you can go to. You say, you know what? I got you. I believe in you. If you're having trouble, call me. I'll help you believe in you some more. That's what it's about. We're helping each other celebrate life. We're helping each other celebrate ourselves. We are helping each other, supporting each other, and loving ourselves enough that that dream that seems so big and so overwhelming becomes more manageable, because we know we're not trying to do it alone. We don't have to do it by ourselves. I know some of us are stubborn and think we have to do it all ourselves, but we don't. Don't have to, don't need to, don't want to, because we are here on the planet with a bunch of folks. It's much more fun when we do it with each other. So we get to move confidently with all that support in the directions of our dreams. Thoreau writes this: if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live a life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. I love the way he writes. A success unexpected in common hours. We are each so unique, so magnificent, so special. We get to do it in our own unique and magnificent and magical way. We get to do it the way we want to do it. We get to express it and experience it and create it in our own way. We get to choose the course of our lives, step out in faith, knowing that life will respond to us, life will create for us, will unfold for us the pathway when we step forward and say, this is where I'm headed. This is what I believe to be true. I know that I have the capability, the resources to bring this into fruition. Because with the vision I've been given is the way to make it happen. Because once the end result is firmly in mind, all the steps to bringing that into fruition are made clear, one at a time. Step by step, moment by moment, breath by breath, we get to move forward and experience and express the divinity that is ours to create. The loving and joyful and wonderful way of living that we have imagined for ourselves, the gift of this dream that has been given to us, is entirely possible when we believe enough. Jim Morris, on his journey, went into that time, went into that tryout, doing it because he had said he would. He didn't really believe that he was going to get a shot. He did it because he had given his word to his team that he would. And by the time he got home, his wife had been there for a while. There were a dozen phone messages on the answering machine waiting for him. Pro scouts going, wow, we saw you, we heard about you, we want to talk to you. He threw a dozen pitches over 95 miles an hour, between 95 and 98. That's, having been a pitcher, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then he had a decision to make. He's 35-year-old. He's got 3 kids. He's got a job teaching in high school. and a job offer making more money in another school district waiting for him. So he goes to talk to his dad, somewhat estranged father at this point. And his dad says this: it's okay to think about what you want to do until it's time to start doing what you, until it's time to start doing what you were meant to do. And he heard that, and it's kind of like, it's an answer without an answer. Of course, his dad's not going to tell him what to do. It's okay to think about what you want to do until it's time to start doing what you were meant to do. And so he goes home, and you're going to have to stay and watch the movie to give you the rest. We all know he ends up going to play baseball, but it's a good conversation. What is it you feel like you have? What is it you feel like you have yet to do that you know you were meant to do? What's left? What's incomplete? What's yet to be fulfilled for you? I know I've got a few projects I'm working on. I got back involved with, I figure this time I'm, not able to do my day job, right? So I'm working on this other stuff, working on some other projects, working on those things, those dreams that maybe I wasn't really attached to them, not quite as attached to them as I am now. And now I'm more attached, more connected. What are those things that are waiting for you? Jack Kerouac says this about dreams. All human beings are also dream beings. Dreaming ties all mankind together, humankind. Dreaming ties humans together. You see, because we're not doing it alone. We're doing it with each other, aren't we? We're doing it with each other. Those big dreams can be scary. The big dreams will push us beyond our own boundaries. The big dreams will make us stretch, will push us to the point where we have to get outside of our comfortable space. I was making notes, additional notes on this morning. Bilbo Baggins came to mind. We all remember when Gandalf came and found him and put a mark on his door, and all of a sudden Bilbo finds himself nudged out the front door onto that road where, heaven forbid, Bilbo the Hobbit was going to go have an adventure. And hobbits don't have adventures. Hobbits don't do things that are unexpected. Little hobbits don't do things that are outside of the norm, that are out of their rhythm of life. And Bilbo got to do something that was completely unexpected and completely scary and completely wonderful. He took that step outside of his front door onto the road and into a whole new way of being that was wholly unexpected, wholly magical, and completely transformed who he was and allowed him to become something completely brand new. And for me, that is stepping into a whole new way of being and embracing that certain something inside of me that is beyond where I have thought I could be. It's like when I look out into the space, or I look out into the world and I look at all of you and the people I see out in the day to day, I know that there is something greater than what appears to be. That there's a spark of divinity waiting to be called forward that says, you know what? You are more than what you seem. You are more powerful than you appear to be. You are more intelligent than maybe you show. You are more loving and caring today than you dared to be yesterday. I can share more of me with you, and you can share more of me, more of yourself with me. Because somehow I know that there's a greater idea of me and of you waiting to be revealed if I just get out of the way long enough to allow it to become. Because when it's all said and done, what I'm looking for is, like Jason Mraz was singing about, I'm looking for the good. I'm looking for the good. I'm looking for the God. I'm looking for the divine. That is that spark of divinity that sometimes feels like it's just outside my vision. But I know it's there. I know it's here inside of me. I know it's there inside of each of you. Whether I can see you or not, I know there is the divinity moving in, through, around, and as each and every one of us. And when I look for the good on the day in, day out experience of this life, when I'm looking for it, I'm expecting it, I know it's there, it shows up. And that good is the opportunity to celebrate life. That good is the opportunity to love more. That good is the opportunity to be more, become more, express more, to allow the larger vision of who I am that maybe I didn't get a hold of yesterday, but I've got a hold of it today. And I can take a step today towards that and say, yes, I know that the spirit of life, God, this thing I call my higher power, universal mind, power and presence, is saying yes to me. And saying yes to all of you. Because love will always cast out anything unlike itself. And love is the divine creative force that is moving that vision, moving that dream forward through each and every one of us today. And so that brings us to our spiritual practice for this week. Embracing our dreams, our highest aspirations, no matter where we are on the journey of this life, is much about looking for the good wherever we are. So this week, the practice is to focus on looking for the good and being grateful for it in all forms. Moving the dream forward, moving my dream forward, moving your dream forward, is all about looking for the good and expecting the good and being grateful for the process and grateful for all of it in whatever we're doing. And sometimes it's hard, I know. Sometimes it's hard to grab a hold of that good because sometimes I got to dig for it. And that's okay. And that's okay. That's why we're here together. To bring that forward for each and every one of us. That good. So, with that, let's open the mic up to all of you. Anybody.
Thank you for that talk, Reverend Lee. There were a couple of times when you were looking right at me.
I tried to do that. I tried to look at everybody. Yes.
Well, you hit the poignant points when your eyes were right on me. You were talking about we just have to not try to do it all ourselves. Some of us are stubborn, you said. That's me. Today, in my little morning elliptical, I put on Ernest Holmes talking, and he was talking about the idea of the whole universe conspiring to help our dreams come true. You talked about that today. I noticed I have a plaque hanging under my alarm when I arm that says, "The entire universe is conspiring for my good." And I saw that today. The eyes don't always land on that. So that's my strong message this week is I don't have to do it myself. Stop being stubborn, get out of the way, and know that the entire universe is conspiring. So thank you.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. That was great. This was speaking to me. I loved what you were speaking about. It really resonates with me today. And you even had Ernest Holmes speaking to me when you showed that thing that you said you hadn't seen very often. And I think of myself as absolutely not creative. I have some creative projects I have to do, and I'm just not creative. And I saw that I'm denying that the God in me is there because God is creative, and it's a gift I have, and I don't want to deny that.
Right. Thank you. Anybody else? Bev?
That was really good. And now here's a question.
Oh.
What do you do if you don't have dreams? What if you don't have goals? When I approached retirement age, I had a lot of not so good things going on in my life. And I've shared before, I lost my job, I lost my house, I lost da 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 da. And I did not prepare for retirement. I did not plan. It just appeared in my life. And luckily, I've been blessed that I have a fine retirement. But emotionally and mentally, I've always been, when I was working, I was always very goal oriented. I always had dreams. But when I went through that retirement, unexpected retirement, I don't have that anymore. It's just gone. So what do you do? And your comment about, well, okay, God is power, God is creativity, it's flowing through me, but how can I is God dreams? How do I identify dreams now about my future? Because I have a feeling I'm going to be here for a while.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I've struggled with similar things. It's like, well, what am I going to do? What is it for me? Because I'm one of those people. I am one of those people who wants the answer now. I want it now. I have a history of not being very patient with time and process. And I was going through a cycle like that when I was in ministerial school, and they always ask you, well, what do you want to do with this? What do you want to do with your ministry? What do you want to do with that? What are you going to do? What are you going to be? Da, 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 da. And so I was in class, and after class, I stopped and talked with one of my instructors. And he looked at me square in the eyes and he asked me a question. He said, Lee, is it okay to live in the question? And just wait. And just say, what's. So, and he said, is it okay to ask the question, now what? And let that be a positive phrase, right? Because so often it's like, now what? It's like, well, now what? And that's like, well, what's the next bad thing that's going to happen, right? Frequently, that's what I hear when we hear that phrase. But what if when we say now what, it's like, Oh, now what? And I can be excited about that. Be excited about not knowing. Be excited about the idea that, you know what, there's something wonderful going to happen. And what is it? I don't know what it is. What's that something wonderful that's next? It's like, how do I frame not having the answer? How do I frame not knowing exactly where I'm headed? Am I willing to let that be a good thing? Because if I don't know specifically what it is, that means the whole realm of possibility is wide open. That makes the possibilities infinite instead of some finite set that I've defined for myself. It's the difference between saying, this is what I want, rather than saying, you know what, this or something better. Right? So that's a long answer, but I hope that answered your question. It was helpful. Okay. Yes, go ahead. One more. Yeah. Oh, Katie.
Thank you. I expressed similar frustration because I've had a lot of tumultuous changes like that in my life over the last year. And in class, and Reverend Jill just looks at me and goes, "How's your meditation going?"
Yeah, that's a Reverend Joe. Yeah. Good answer, Reverend Joe.
I was wondering,
Sure.
was it Einstein who said, for something to happen, something must move?
Yes.
So I think if you don't know what to do, start doing something. Go to a garden shop, go to a art store, go to a bookstore. Start moving so that you're in all the atmosphere of things generating.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep. There we go. Yes, if I want to change something. Yep. All right. Well, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's take a moment and take all this into our closing affirmative prayer time. And just join me in knowing that something wonderful is happening through each of us right here and right now. Something wonderful, magical, and magnificent, whimsical. And as we turn within, we remember that there is only one infinite power and presence, an infinite spirit of love and light and truth, that is God. Goes by so many names throughout this world and this universe. No matter the name, we know it is love. It is the prime creative and driving force within, through, around, and as each and every one of us. And as we turn within, we attune to its rhythm, its heartbeat. As we breathe in and let it go, we settle into this time, knowing fundamentally that life is good and very good as each and every one of us, right here and right now. And we open our minds and our hearts and embrace a new and expanded vision of who and what we are. We allow the light of love to shine forth within, through, and around us, sweeping aside anything unlike itself. We move forward in faith and truth and love and joy, taking that first step, knowing that the dream within us, the dream that is dreaming us, the dream that is pulling us forward, is truly already fulfilled within the mind and heart of God, and we are guided into each and every step as the dream is revealed, right here and right now. It is not only revealed, but in the mind and heart of God it is already fulfilled. And we are so incredibly grateful, knowing that as we are blessed, we are a blessing moving out into this world, shining forth in love, knowing that all is well in our lives, or the lives of our community, our state, our country, our world. We see the wholeness and love and joy and divine order shining forth in all that we see, all that we experience, all that we touch. We're grateful for all of this and so much more. And so it is.